there is something happening around at the moment, all right? And it's players and parents, of course, looking for what's happening next year, all right? And what's going to happen and where they're going to play. And I want to share some thoughts about what I'm seeing right now, okay? And you can put in the comments there if you got a different point of view of what's happening. There are clubs and there are players that are changing clubs from, I don't know, like 1 or 2 weeks ago. They've been changing and signing already. And there are clubs that are offering spots to new players, okay? And I will say there should be a reasoning behind that, all right? So let's say you go and you move from one club to another one, and that club is offering a spot in an under 14 MPL 1 or MPL 2 team. All right, let's say something like that. And then they offer you the spot without, maybe if they know you, that's the reason, one reason. If they know you because they play against you and you play against that club, and the coach know and he realize how good you were when you play against them, then you're gonna say, all right, that's a reasonable thought. Go to that club and go with that coach because you already know me, all right? And I already know that club as well. So I know the club is a club that plays and is possession based, and they're a good club because they encourage players to play good football, or maybe just because they win. So there are a lot of things going around at the moment, and with trials not being able to go ahead at the moment, people looks a little bit desperate and moving to club, and with the new structure of the youth football. All right, by the way, Australia for me is the only, I don't know any other country that do what Australia does, and Football New South Wales and all this, changing the way they do things. So changing how they select clubs to go to MPL 1, MPL 2, the relegation and promotion process, different for seniors, different for youth. That's only happening here. From where I come from, for example, in Europe and in South America, things are being the same for a while, and it's been working. And you stick with one plan and you keep it for a couple of years, for 10 years, and it has to be completely a disaster then for you to change it. But every year, the federation, a lot of tournaments are changing. So they changing in regards of how they manage the young ones, how they manage the older ones, and that's really affecting. And at the moment, there is a big fight for the promotion and relegation going on. All right. So for players, I just want to give you a little bit of advice and my thoughts for players. If you're one of these players that the coach scout you because they saw you, they know you, and they know what you can offer to the club, and they offer you a spot, that's a very good reason to go for a club. All right. But if you're one of those players that are signing for new clubs only because of the badge, only for the division they play, or only because you want to secure a spot for next year, you're making a big mistake. All right. Why? Because you're gonna go to maybe a club that you don't know how the environment in that club is. You don't know how the coach works. You don't know what you're gonna get there, but you know that team plays MPL 1 or MPL 2 or MPL 3, and that's why you wanna get there. That's a big mistake. That shouldn't be the reason that you sign for a club. But I'm more interested on how coaches are signing players for a highlight video. And we talk about this, all right? We talk about this on the video I put on YouTube. And I said, do the highlight video. I really encourage you to have a highlight video and record the full game as well. Because coaches want to see that, yes, but not to sign you. No. That's a mistake, and maybe I didn't explain it before. I don't want my players, for example, to go and make a highlight video and a full video to go and send it to someone, expecting them to offer them a spot. And it's happening, all right? It's happening right now. I know clubs and I know players that are getting signed with the club don't know the player don't know the club. They just might think they're good for a highlight video, for a position in a table, or for a name, or for a call, for whatever, and they sign him, and they getting into those clubs. I don't get it. As a coach, I can't judge players that I don't see. big footballers, all right, if you're a top player that everyone realizes and everyone knows who you are, yes, okay, fantastic. That's a different case because I know you and I've been following you and I know what can you offer for my club or for my team. But if you're not one of these top players and you're a middle player or bottom player that you're just afraid that you're not going to have a spot in an NPL team next year and you're signing for these clubs only because you don't want to miss out and wait for trials, you're making a big mistake. Alright, I will say this. I agree that trials sometimes are not that fair. I agree that clubs sometimes open trials and they might have only 2 spots, or they might have already signed but retain people that they know. That's a reality. But my friend, you need to trust on what you do. And COVID and the lockdown have given you the opportunity to train and improve the things that you needed to improve to. At least the technique. We were talking before with Robbie Hooker this week, and he was telling there is a big difference in between skills, which is the technique that you apply in a game, than only practice the technique by yourself in an isolated environment. So what you can do right now is get the technique. All right, you can get the technique right now and practice and practice and practice. You don't have the option to put it as a skill in a game because, of course, you can't go and do exercise with more than 1 or more than 2 people. But the technique is something you can improve, and there is people that need to work on the weak foot, for example, or the not best foot. If you're a right footer, you need to work on your left foot a little bit more, right? And it's exactly the same on the opposite way. So COVID have given you the opportunity to improve. If you needed more fitness, you can go and do some fitness exercise related to the game. Yes? Changing direction, a little bit of reaction, a little bit of strengthening, stuff like that. You had the time to do it. So if you haven't done it, and then you go to a trial with other people, a fair trial. I'm not talking about as one of our parents commented there, a rubbish trial. There are a lot of rubbish trials, and you have to trust where are you going to go. And that's the main reason. You're going to know the club that you're going to go to, and you're going to know the coach. You're going to maybe have a conversation. You might maybe need to go and look what players and what people think. Who is the coach that I'm pretending to get in? Otherwise, you're going to be in a club that you're not going to be happy. You're going to be the player number 16 of that team. You're not going to have game time. And then you're going to waste another season. Alright? I would rather to wait. And this is my recommendation. Have the video highlight, you have to have it. Have full games. Make our email, send it, apply for the expression of interest for these clubs. Wherever you want to play, but make sure you want to play for that club first, because you already know the philosophy, you already know what kind of players they got there. Exactly, you know where you're going to go to. And then when you go there, you're going to prepare an email that you send, so they have you in the loop. That's what it is. The highlight video and the full video of the game is to have you on the loop. And see, when you go to trials, I remember this kid that sent me that video. Let's see now. So you don't have to, you can't edit. If I put you in a game, you can't edit and do this and play maybe with the angles and cut it when you lose it and stuff like that you can do in a highlight video, which is fine. A highlight video for me is to knock on the door and ask for an opportunity. If COVID wouldn't happen and we wouldn't have this lockdown, what we have to do in the middle of the season is prepare that, compare a highlight video and set them in the middle of the season. Then even before the season finishes, as soon as the season finish, you can go and train and get invited to train, but not to get signed. Boys and girls that are watching and they're gonna watch this video later, I don't understand how coaches are signing players without seeing them, without knowing them, without know absolutely anything about them. And you players, how are you signing for a club that you don't know the coach, you don't know how they think, you don't know how they planning to do things, you don't know how they're gonna play or what style they have, that it fits you or not. You don't know anything, and you're accepting an offer and you're accepting a spot just for the sake that you play for NPL 3, 2, 1 or whatever team you're playing for. It's not right. Let me tell you, it's not right. It's not the right to do things. It's not the right thing to do it. All right, it's not the right thing. Otherwise, everyone who is having a good highlight video is getting signed, and I'm very worried about what's happening next year. What's happening next year is you sign for that club, the coach didn't know you, only maybe even not the coach is not the one that is signing you, maybe someone else in the club is signing you, all right? And you go for that team, and that team realize that you're not the player that they were looking for. My friend, you're gonna be the player number 16 in that team. You're not gonna have game time, and you're gonna be on the bench, and then you're gonna be looking for a club in the middle of the season in 2022. And I'm gonna see in 2022, and it's recorded live, and it's on video, that in 2022 people is gonna be looking for clubs in the middle of the season as much as never it's been like that. At least in New South Wales, for what is happening at the moment, for desperate parents and desperate players that want to go and secure a spot wherever they want, wherever. And they changing club to club. It doesn't matter if they're happy, all right? If you're happy in a club, but maybe they didn't perform as well this season, and you're moving because of that, because of the level, because someone is offering you a spot in the NPL2 or NPL3. Let me read this comment. 2,150 annual fee is a lot of money to pay that for an NPL3. It's a rip-off. It's true. That one is true. But I'm going to tell you something about that money that he's charging and why here is happening in that way. The whole Australia, and I don't know because Australia is maybe too young, all right, on football. But what happened I played representative football all my life in Colombia, all right? In Colombia, that we are a poor country, all right? And I was in a small city in a club called Atlético Bucaramanga, all right? And I played for that team, and I played for second division teams there, representative football that I never paid, or my parents didn't have the opportunity to pay for that. They never paid. The club paid for those registration. If you were a local club, like someone that is not, all right, maybe you have to pay something to collaborate all those coaches. But everything is assumed by the club. But what's happening? If you're a club that is paying for your players, and not the parents, but the club, then the club got the rights over the players. And you sign a contract that even if you want to move from a local club or whatever, you have to agree first with the club. And the club release you to go to another place. But in Australia, it's not like that. In Australia, clubs don't take that. Parents pay absolutely everything and put the money, and then they can move whenever they want. But it's not working like that, because when you sell someone, and that's why clubs don't have that, how can I say it? The clubs don't have the power to invest on the player that then is going to sell to a league, let's say A-League. But the A-League don't have the money to pay the club and giving them. Or if they have it, it's not happening at the moment and they're not giving nothing. So as a coach or as a club, and you're investing in a player, and let's say you do for a scholarship, and you own this player, all right, and then when they go to professional level, they got money out of that, then it becomes a good business for the clubs and for the coaches and for the even the academies to go and do that, all right. And then the parents don't have to pay that much, because out of 10 or 100 or 200 people, players, if you do a good job, and one of them got sold to, let's say, Italy or Europe or South America or Asia, or they sign for an A-League team here, the A-League team might need to pay the club that grow up that player. And then with that money, you can reinvest it in the youth, all right? But that's not happening. That's not happening in Australia. And that's the thing that if it's on outside in Europe and in other places, you can see what's happening, and that's why the money is that much. So it's ridiculous. That money is a lot of money. 100% is a lot of money. And how are a parent that don't have that money gonna have? Maybe the kid got talent. You need a scholarship or something like that. So that's something that have to change. Clubs, and especially clubs that got money, they should be able to identify talent and let them play for free. And if they play for free and they sell them or they go somewhere else, then there's going to be money to reinvest. And maybe that it's not going to be one, it's not going to be two, maybe 3 or 5 people got on a scholarship and they can play for free because they're very talented, and you might think they have a chance to make it into professional, but that's not happening. Most important we do when choosing a club first is to find out who is the coach. Second, facilities and training venue. If I have a relationship with the coach and they know my strength, you have to know the club, and that's my point. You need to know what's happening in that club, and you need to know the coach. Why? You got the club here, all right? MPL 1, MPL 2, and MPL 3, whatever club you got here. And then that's a philosophy, and if they do a good job, they're gonna come down all the way to each age group and to the coaches, and they might need to play in a certain way, and they have a plan and a structure to play football, right? If that structure is to play good football and develop individuals, then it will be fantastic, because when you develop individuals and no teams, then you're gonna feed the professional football with good young footballers, all right? But what's happening now is there is a promotion and relegation, that people want to just get promoted and avoid relegation. So it's about what? It's about points, all right? And in the youth system, it's about points, it's about winning. So there might be people that want to play in different styles that might not suit your player. If that team, and you know the coach, and he likes to, hit in the counter-attack. He's obsessed with the counter-attack. So very good defending style, high block defense, and then the transition very quick on the wide areas. All right? That might be a style. And as a parent, you might know these things. All right? And if you don't know, you need to start asking and wondering and reading and asking coaches. And our job as a coach is to share that knowledge so you can know why you're going to play too. All right? And let's say they play wide, they use the wide areas, that's what they want, as quick as possible, quick transitions in attack, and your kid is a winger that got pace, that is dangerous on the wide areas. My friend, that's a good club, and that's a good team that fits for your club, or that you're gonna fit in that team and fits you, all right? Then sign a contract. But if you don't know absolutely anything of the style of the coach first, this is the person that is 2 or 3 times per week training your kid, then you're gonna be in trouble. Then you're gonna go like this. I'm gonna go and let's see what I'm gonna find. Let's see how this look like. That's a big problem, all right? Maybe because of the lockdown, when trials are open, maybe the way we look trials is different. Maybe they go for longer. Maybe they go and we see it's gonna be more fair, all right? Maybe. I personally, it's almost impossible unless I really know that player is gonna bring value to the team, that I sign someone without seeing. So trials gotta talk, and you gotta do your best, and you're gonna have one chance to do it, and you're gonna have 1 hour, 2 hours to do it. And what the trials gonna be about? It's gonna be about playing a game, and then the game that, if in that game you can't show what you got, I understand, maybe you gotta go another second trial, but there is not much we can do. And it's the option that I recommend. I don't recommend changing clubs, and clubs that they don't have idea. If you got a coach that don't know you, and because of a highlight or a phone call, they sign you, my friend, you're gonna be in trouble next season. But if not, make sure you identify who you want to, identify where you're gonna go to, and if that fits you, then with your highlight video, and again with the full video, send it to the clubs. And the clubs might show interest, and they might say, register here, look at this, I see you on trials. And if they want to see you on trials, is because it's a club responsible, is someone, for example, a coach that is responsible to say, my friend, I want to see you playing football. And based on what I see on playing football, you're going to fit for my team, and then I want you here. All right, and then I sign you. And when I sign you, I'm going to have a player that I'm giving value. Or I'm going to say, this kid, is giving me as a coach value, and he's going to play for my team, and it's going to be my number 10, and it's going to be my number 10, my number 6, and he's a strong player in defense, and in the attacking 1v1 is also good, so he might be playing as a fullback, and he got the pace, and he's dangerous, and I can see, and he score goals. That's the kind of player I want to see and I want to have in my team. You're not going to be my player number 16. But if I sign you without seeing you and then you don't fill my expectations that I saw in that video, but I already signed you and you already paid the money, and then you're going to be my bench player number 16, or I might look for another player and find a way for you to go halfway through the season. Look for another club and I sign someone else, I give some refund, see you later my friend, and then you as a player 2022 won't have another season, but not because of COVID. This time is because you made a wrong decision, a desperate decision to go to another club that didn't know you and you didn't know. So that was my point today. A lot of retention letters going around as well, which is good. It's your player, alright? It's your player, you already know. Yes, have them. If you got some spots open, it should be for a trial. But it needs to be a real trial, alright? That's something that we need to change. It needs to be someone that is there signing players that got talent or got potential, because it's very difficult. But as a human being, you also can miss stuff. That's why the video is important. The video is so important to knock on the door and get someone to realize, I do that. I do. What's your name, Johnny? Yeah, Johnny sent me the email. Let's go, Johnny. All right, I put Johnny, might be a good 6. And I got his details. When he comes to trial, I'm going to check my list of players that sent me the video and I was interested. I saw something and I will say, which one is Johnny? That's Johnny. All right, let's gonna pay attention to Johnny a lot on this movement, this and that. What I'm looking for a 6. I know that's how it should be. But no, Johnny, what a highlight video you made, my friend. What a goal you scored. That's it. When can I sign you? Oh yeah. Be careful. Be careful because you might end with another season cut it in the middle and you're gonna finish with no team in 2022 halfway. That could be one option. The other option is you were so lucky, the video reflects who you are. The coach likes you so much and you're going to be a starting player and then you're going to make it into the highest level. Well done. That's fantastic. Alright? But if not, just be careful. Be careful with the movement you're doing. Don't be desperate because good footballers are always going to be identified. Someone is going to see you. Someone is going to check on you and watch a video or watch a game and say, this is a good player. Shouldn't be playing here. Then you get a scout. That's the best way to get offered a spot when you get scout. But no, just because of video, because of someone ringing or someone ringing someone. That's not how football works. Alright? I just wanted to share these thoughts with you. Hope it was worth it. If you got any question, please let me know, alright? Please let me know. Because I want to know what you thought about. Well done. And yes guys. Make sure your decisions are based on the kind of player you are and the kind of coach and the kind of club that you're gonna get to. So don't just be that kind of player that says, oh, I play for MPL 3, I play for MPL 2, I play for MPL 1, and you get 20 minutes game time. All right. So guys, hope you enjoy and we keep in touch. I'm gonna touch on a lot of stuff like this because one, I don't agree and I don't want to see kids being depressed or being sad or being so stressed because of football and because of they not having that wasn't the club they expected and that wasn't the coaching they expected, and that's not fun. That's not fun because they need to play. Put something in your mind. This is the last message I'm gonna give you. Put something in your mind. One player out of 1,000 is going to make it professional. So 999 players need to be focused on this. Need to be focused on, am I going to be happy while I play football? Be happy while I play football. You can be happy if you play 5 minutes or if you play 10 minutes because the level where you are doesn't match with the level where the team is. So if you're going to sign for a team that is MPL 1, but you're an MPL 2 player, or if you're gonna sign for an MPL 2 team, but you know, or maybe you know that you might have more chances than an MPL 3 team, my friend, level up in the level you are with the level the team is. If you go here and you're gonna be the player 16, Get out of your mind that you're going to improve because you train with them, because you need to play football and enjoy your time while you play football. Because you might not make it into professional, and then you're going to have only sad memories. And you don't want to have sad memories only. You want to have memories where you enjoy, when you play good football, when you have fun as well, and at the same time that it goes competitive. Level up, my friend. Play at your level and be aware. Don't think you're Maradona. And don't, parents, please stop telling the kids that they're so good when they may be not. So you might tell them, my friend, you got some things that you need to improve, and until you improve them, don't try to get to this team here. Maybe get to this team here while you improve. You keep pushing, and when you go here, the team is here and you're here, that's the time when you need to jump into the next one. But I've seen players here trying to jump into here. My friend, it's not going to happen. Get better than your team. Be the top player in your team to be able to say, thank you very much, you helped me a lot, but now I'm ready for my next challenge. Alright? So, it's Coach Sergio here. And that was it for today. Enjoy your weekend and see you later.